everybody, it's Deborah at Lori's Country Cottage. Thank you for joining me as I extol the virtues of this wonderful pattern called the Angler. I don't know if you've noticed it, but everybody is making bags these days. And who can resist these really cute little printed vinyls, the gorgeous corks, and the myriad woven fabrics that we have in the store for making bags? But are you thinking that bag making is too complex and the fabrics are too difficult and the zippers are too difficult? Stick with me and I hope to take you through some tips and tricks that will help you dealing with your bag making journey start. So the Angler bag, in my opinion, addresses three major concerns that you might have as you're getting started with your bag making journey. One problem that a lot of people think bag making is that it involves some long time consuming investment in a lot of material and a complex set of instructions. The Angler bag is going to be a great way to get beyond that. Look how simple the pattern pieces are for the Angler bag. A rectangle cut diagonally, a piece of zipper by the yard or zipper taken from the 22-inch zippers that we carry in the store, and a zipper pull and slide for each one. Very, very simple set of materials. But it doesn't have to remain that simple. By the simple addition of some binding on the edges of your zipper area and your outside, or sticking to just the plain and simple bag itself with a fancy little zipper slide, using fabrics, lining that, giving it a full lining with no seams exposed, giving it a handle, giving it a hanger. You can customize these bags and create some really cute bags that your friends and family will really enjoy receiving. I think the Angler bag does a great job of simply making a beautifully creative bag. The Angler pattern is going to give you lots of suggestions for dealing with these new textiles, the vinyls and the corks. Ordinary cotton fabric isn't going to present much of a problem passing through your machine. Both the cotton edges, both the right side and the wrong side, have a smooth surface with enough friction that it's not going to stick to your presser foot or your feed dogs and needle plate. But the vinyl and cork can sometimes present a problem. Lucky for us, Lori's carries a cork that has a fabric lining on the back, and so you're never going to have that problem of the feed dogs not being able to have something to grab on. If your presser foot isn't slippery enough to walk along the cork, there are a number of suggestions that you can use. Try your Teflon or roller foot if you have one. Try the even feed mechanism on your machine. But it is still possible to do this without having those features on your machine. A quick and easy way to deal with that is to use a layer of tearaway stabilizer. This provides a fabric piece that can be used to help your presser foot bottom slide along and something for your feed dogs. So either way, you're going to be able to have a textile on each side. My machine was not giving me any issues, and so it was easy enough to lay the cork with the zipper tape right sides together, sew it, turn it, and top stitch it. But when you're top stitching, if your foot is sticking to this, it's going to be a problem. This is where you would lay just a tiny, skinny little piece of the tearaway stabilizer to help you through. But the pattern also makes a lot of suggestions to help you see yourself through that without having to use the tearaway stabilizer. Look at the application of this zipper. The fancy zipper tape meant that I could lay it on top of the vinyl and sew it down just with one line of stitches on the back. So my presser foot passed over the fabric part of the zipper tape and in no way found the vinyl sticky. If the bottom was sticky, this is where you could use your tearaway stabilizer to simply provide that friction for your feed dogs to grab onto. When you lay your zipper right sides together with your vinyl and then sew again, top stitching this can be tricky because you now are sewing through two layers of vinyl. give yourself the opportunity to make the best stitches. So make sure that on your machine, you're stitching with a little longer stitch length and using a size 80 Microtex needles. These needles are really sharp and they will pierce through with the force of your machine. I've had no trouble going through these, but I noticed when I was trying to fool around with some rayon thread that the rayon thread wasn't capable of doing it until I put the stabilizer on the back. A third way suggested by the pattern is to bind the edge of your vinyl where the zipper is going to be placed. Now, I've put a little daisy binding on this, which I might not use with the ducks, but you can decide how creative or crazy you want to get. This piece was cut 1.75 inches across. It was folded with both raw edges into the center and then folded again. And when you go to put it on your vinyl, you simply take that diagonal cut on the vinyl and send that edge right into the fold. You can easily and quickly clip those edges, and now you're ready to sew. And of course, your presser foot is passing over a fabric piece, and your feed dogs have fabric on the bottom. This was a super successful method to speed up my zipper application no end. The same kind of binding can be used to make a hanging strap and an outer binding for it as well. Off camera, I'm going to sew a bag together and show you how to deal with the turning of these pieces, because of course vinyl is a little stiff and a little sticky and it doesn't want to turn as easily as the fabric and the cork do. Then I'll come back and show you how I turned it quite easily. So the third concern that might keeping you from starting to make bags is the fact that you're going to be dealing with zippers. But let's look at some hints and tips and tricks also included in the Angler pattern that are going to help you cope very easily with this. The first is the great product that we have called Zipper by the Yard. This is zipper tape attached to nylon coil that is designed so that you can run a zipper slide in either direction down that coil. Because it's nylon and not metal, you're going to have an easy time cutting through it with your ordinary sewing scissors and also an easy time sewing through it. The Angler bag, as you remember, is made by having a rectangle cut, cutting it diagonally, and one piece of the bag matches the length of your Zipper by the Yard. And then, of course, you split that Zipper by the Yard and use 1/2 of it for each bag that you're making. That makes it really quite inexpensive to make a number of bags. In order to deal with the Zipper by the Yard and have it effectively useful, of course you need pulls. So each Zipper by the Yard product comes with either pulls in the package or pulls that you can buy separately. As long as you make sure that the size of the zipper coil that you've purchased matches the size listed on the zipper pull and slide, you will be okay. You can interchange different companies. So a Sally Tomato product will fit an Emmeline Bags product as long as the sizing is correct. The YKK zippers that we carry in the store come in the store in 14 and 22 inch length, so you'll be able to use those as well. And again, these zippers have a nylon coil. The only thing that's different about them is that these were originally zippers meant for, garment and bag making where the zipper didn't have to open. So you must remember to cut the metal parts off that zipper before you use it. And of course, same as the other one, the Angler bag allows you to make 2 bags with 1 zipper. So once you've got the metal pieces cut off, you can take the slide off and you've got the 2 sides of the zipper ready to be used. We also carry the little YKK zipper slides in a multicolored package, so you can get a little bit creative with the color of the slide that you're putting on. The pattern goes through various ways that you can lay your zipper together, But one way that I really like, especially for a beginner sewer, is to use this 1/8 inch basting tape. It's a double-sided basting tape, and it's going to help you place your zipper in its exact location. You probably won't even need to clip it as you sew, but of course you always can clip if you find that gives you more security. The basting tape is 1/8 of an inch wide. So if you want to, you could lay it right up against the edge of your bag and know that when you sew 1/8 inch away from the edge, you are covering that tape and it's not visible. The tape comes off the roll with one side already sticky. I don't put a piece that's the entire length of the side that I'm sewing because I feel it holds well enough by just using small pieces. So I'm sticking that tape to the edge where the zipper is going to go on and cutting it off. And by pressing it down firmly, I'm now creating basically a space where I'm going to be able to put my zipper on. When you're absolutely beginning working with zipper by the yard, give yourself up to an inch extra zipper coil at each end of the area you're going to be sewing. It will just help you get that slide on a little better until you get the experience that you need. I've given myself an extra 1/2 inch, which is plenty. Your zipper is as long as this diagonal, and I'm ready now to lay it with the teeth down, right sides together, because my intent is to sew this on and then turn it and top stitch it, thus exposing the zipper teeth. So with my basting tape already on and stuck down, I'm just going to lift the little piece of paper that is left behind because it is a double-sided tape, and you can see, maybe you can't, but it's sticking there to my cork, and I am ready to place my zipper tape on. So my zipper tape is going to go right sides together in this case, and I'm going to leave that little 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to line my zipper tape, the edge of my zipper tape, up with the outer edge of my cork and push it down so that that stickiness engages and it holds it in place for me. I'm ready to sew now using 1/8 or more of a seam allowance, because remember, we don't want that tape to show. And when we're done, this will be sewn. It will be held in place for you so you can make a nice straight line, and then you can turn this back and do the top stitching that is going to make that cork lay down and lay flat for your bag. Now, of course, the next step is to put the zipper pull on. But before we do that, let's just take a look at a couple of other applications. Remember, this zipper tape is laying on top of the vinyl, and all I did was lay a little piece of the basting tape underneath, and then using my vision of a straight line, I laid my zipper tape on there and sewed it really quite close to the edge. So the beauty of this pattern is you're not dealing with any metal pieces, and you're not dealing with having to sew around a zipper slide that's already present when you're doing your sewing. I'm going to set up now for showing you how to use the zipper jig to put the zipper slide on. What a great little tool for those of you that are intimidated by trying to get this zipper slide onto your zipper. So you're ready to apply your zipper pull to your zipper by the yard. I like to, on these angler bags, fold them in place. In this case, my plan is to put a binding on the outside. So I'm just going to lay my edges together. They meet at the corner, keeping these raw edges equal. And I make a little mark with a permanent marker, just a tiny little 1/8 inch mark to tell me where that fold is going to go. And when I've got those in place, you want to take that zipper pull that, remember I said to cut yourself a 1/2 to 1 inch extra, and you want to cut those zipper tapes even with each other at a right angle to the zipper coil, the nylon coil zipper. Then you're going to get ready to use the zipper jig. Let's take a look at how this thing functions by just doing a bare piece of zipper for the moment. The zipper pull itself has the back side with a curved forward facing edge and the actual zipper pull on the front side. The zipper jig has a little opening for both size 5 and size 3 zippers that you will place the zipper slide in so that the pull is away from you and the back side of the slide is on. The zipper teeth have to face the front of the slide itself, and they're going to be engaging in these 2 little channels down the side. So the technique is to hold the zipper tape in each hand and to make them enter that channel evenly and pull down. So it really is that easy. Once you've got it on, your zipper is going to move quite easily. So you're ready to put your zipper slide on the piece that you've already sewn. So the back of your zipper slide is facing you and the zipper pull is facing the front. The curved edge is upward. I know my zipper teeth have to face away from me because I am looking at the back side of the zipper. My 2 edges that I trimmed are going to be carefully inserted into the channel, and then I'm going to pull down together on both of those edges and slide those pieces onto the zipper slide. Once that's on, yes, this will separate apart if you treat it poorly, but you can handle that readily without damaging making a space in between them and causing it to open up. So this is going to turn and I'll be ready to sew when I need it. So lucky for us, this zipper jig also works with these YKK zippers. It happens to fit right in that same size 5 slot. And we'll put the back of the zipper pull toward us. We'll have the rounded part of the channels up, and I will take the zipper teeth and face away from me. So I've got my 2 edges evenly cut, and I'm going to carefully insert them in the channels and pull down on both edges at the same time, making that zipper slide into the zipper channel. Ready to go, and I either turn it right side out or leave it inside out in preparation for sewing. I've sewn 2 bags, one's of cork, one's of the vinyl, the printed vinyl, and I have also 2 different size zippers here. The size 5 zipper by the yard with the nylon coil teeth and the YKK zipper with the nylon coil teeth. So you are going to be able to sew right through those nylon coils. Take it easy, but sew through them and your seam will work out great. Trim away any excess zipper tape that might be sticking out at the bottom edge. And then you're ready to turn the bag. Now the cork is going to act like a fabric. So open your zipper up completely and simply insert your hand and turn it around. The cork has the flexibility to turn through without you having to do a lot of straining and stressing. When you've got the cork bag mostly through, do take a minute to push those corners out, and never use a sharp bladed instrument. Here I have a blunt end bodkin that I can use to ease that corner out. And I didn't even trim that vinyl at the corner, or that cork at the corner, and look how nicely that corner is coming out. At the zipper end, bring the zipper out and around, and then do the zipper up part way so that you can get with your fingers into that little corner, again with a prodding instrument that is not sharp to a point. You simply want to prod out and create as square a corner as you can. Now, your angler bag is going to always have a little bit of roundness at this bottom edge. That's the nature of the beast, because you are putting a fairly thick material into that corner. But the rest of it, your other 2 corners, can come out nice and sharp, and your cork is going to lay beautifully. You can even cover this carefully with a very thick press cloth. I have a piece of wool fabric that I do this for, and you can lay this down flat and give it a little bit of heat with the iron. Never directly touch the iron to your cork fabric. But the vinyl is a whole different ball game. These are polymer molecules. They do not want to lay flat. They don't want to bend. And so even though I open this zipper to its utmost to get this bag to open up, The vinyl feels crunchy. It feels like you're going to crack it and it's going to break. So the pattern gives you the hint of using a blow dryer. Warm that plastic up a little bit and it'll make it a little more pliable. Remember, that also makes it a little more sticky, so you want to sew the plastic in as cool a condition as you can, but actually warm it before you turn it. So I'm going to warm this off camera and show you how easy it is to turn this vinyl. So I warmed my vinyl a little bit, and I just want to show you with my blow dryer how I actually went about doing that. We know that the whole area of the plastic has to turn back in on itself, so we need both the folds of the vinyl and the seam areas to be a little warmer than normal. So I'm warming and you'll see even with a minimum of warming, the plastic now feels so much more pliable. You're going to be able to turn those corners. So get at those corners that have to be nice and sharp first while the plastic is warm, or if it cools down, re-warm. But just look how much less crunchy it is. It's going to behave so much better. Now, this zipper is a little lighter in weight than our size 5 zipper, so I'm going to probably find it a little easier to do the prodding outward, but I still can get my blunt instrument into that corner and gently prod it out. If it's cooled down between the time that you have stitched and you're prodding, then give it a little more warmth and work it through. Your finger is also a good start to getting that to come through and to bring down the corner. Now, one concern that I sort of had when I was making these bags is that the plastic never lays flat. I'm a big person that presses everything when I'm done. Well, it's just not in the nature of vinyl to lay flat in a crease like that. So I like how when the corners are pushed out and the bag lays, I like how it has some extra dimension. It's going to be like that no matter what. So you can finger press this seam if you want, and I've done mine countless times, but it has made absolutely no difference to the vinyl when I've used the bag. So don't stress about that. So get your corners all pushed out and you've got a cute little bag that's going to be functional with the added nice part about it that it's translucent and you can see what it holds. Thanks for joining me in our look at the Angler bag. Once you gain the confidence to apply the zippers and the zipper pulls, I hope you'll move on to more complex projects like a boxy bag or even adding fabric to the edges of your bag and making a stadium bag. These printed vinyls are just too cute not to use. I hope you'll give it a try.